chosen ones. You are the strongest chosen one. The prophecy is real. This message is for the one who's been through battles in silence, cried in prayer when no one was watching, and kept believing when the world gave no reason to. You didn't give up. You didn't lose hope. You stood even when it hurt. This message is for you. Type 1010 if you agree. Heaven has seen everything you endured. You are not just chosen. You are the strongest chosen one. The prophecy is real, and it's unfolding through you. There's something divine about your story, something sacred about your path. Everything you've gone through is not in vain. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. Every delay, every betrayal, every tear has led to this moment where the promise starts to reveal itself. The pain you felt was proof that God was building something unshakable inside you. You didn't crumble. You didn't turn back. You've grown. You've stretched. You've held on to faith in ways others could not. That's why this message found you. Because you're walking into the season of your rising, the season of fulfillment, the season where all things start to make sense. Type Amen if you believe. You are not forgotten. You were hidden for a purpose. Hidden so God could strengthen you in the secret place. The world didn't see your silent obedience. They didn't see your quiet worship, but heaven did. You were never alone. The angels walked with you. The Spirit of God covered you when you felt most exposed. And now, it is your time. This is not just about being chosen. This is about being trusted. God trusted you with the test. God trusted you with the pain, because He knew what He placed inside you. He knew you would not break. You may have bent, you may have cried, but you never let go of Him. That is strength, that is divine resilience, and that is why you are the strongest chosen one. The prophecy is not a tale written long ago for someone else. It is alive, it is moving, and it has your name written on it. What was spoken in heaven about you is now being awakened on earth. The dreams, the signs, the inner stirring, none of it was your imagination. It was the Holy Spirit confirming what your soul already knew, that you were set apart, that your journey matters. The world might have tried to define you by your setbacks. People might have doubted your value, but God never did. In His eyes, you have always been more than enough. You have always been destined for this breakthrough, this transition, this awakening. He placed glory inside your scars. He placed strength inside your silence. And now, the world will witness what heaven already knew. It's time to stop seeing yourself as broken or small. There is power in your presence. There is light in your life. You carry something sacred. That's why it felt like all hell was breaking loose against you, because darkness knew who you were before you did. But no attack could destroy what God sealed. No storm could cancel what God ordained. Type 222 to claim miracles. God is now sending clarity where there was confusion. You'll see why the doors had to shut. You'll understand why certain people left. What felt like rejection was divine protection. God didn't allow those things to stay because they couldn't go where you're headed. What's coming is pure. It's holy. It's heaven-backed, and it's specifically shaped for the strongest chosen one, you. Let your heart soften again. Let yourself believe again. It's safe to hope now. The season of silence is ending. The season of wondering when is being replaced with a knowing that it is now. You don't need to chase anything. What's for you will flow to you. And when it arrives, it won't look rushed. It will carry peace. It will carry favor. It will carry the fingerprint of God. Everything about you was handcrafted by the Creator. Your emotions, your thoughts, your timing, it all serves a bigger picture. You've been taught to shrink yourself, to stay quiet, to doubt your own voice. But God is saying, speak, move, rise, because your presence matters in this world. The light inside you is needed, and it is time. This is the part of your story where things begin to align. You'll feel heaven draw near. You'll sense the shift. People who once dismissed you will suddenly wonder how you made it. But you won't boast. You'll simply say, God did it. Because you know the journey. You know the cost. And you know the one who never let go of your hand. Type 1111 if you trust in God. The chains that held you down are being shattered. The weight you carried is being lifted. You'll breathe lighter. You'll sleep deeper. You'll move freer. Because the spiritual battle has been won, your faith activated a shift. Your tears watered the seeds. Your praise created space for miracles. And now the harvest is here. Stay close to God, even when blessings come. Especially when blessings come. Don't let success distract you from your source. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Keep your heart anchored in grace. Because the journey ahead is beautiful, but it still requires discernment. Walk in love. Lead with compassion. And remember, you were chosen not just for yourself, but to be a light for others. The world may never fully understand what it took for you to make it to this point. They didn't see the nights when your soul was crying, while your smile stayed on. They didn't feel the weight you carried in your heart, or the moments you questioned if you'd ever feel whole again. But God saw, God felt it all, and God stayed with you every single step of the way. Type yes to affirm this. What if wealth could be triggered from inside your own mind through a powerful sound frequency once hidden in classified files? Experts say this signal naturally attracts opportunity and financial freedom, and many people are already putting it to use. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate this hidden brainwave today. You were not born to be ordinary. You were set apart before you ever knew what that meant. That ache you carried, that longing to feel something greater, that burning inside your spirit that kept you awake some nights, that was the calling. That was the voice of heaven reminding you that you are not like everyone else. You are the strongest chosen one. There's a light inside you that darkness couldn't put out. Even when you felt like you were breaking, that light kept glowing. Quietly, steadily, constantly. That's not weakness, that's power. And now, God is bringing that light to the front. It's your time to shine, not because of pride, but because your obedience made room for glory. There is beauty in the fact that you kept walking, even when your feet were tired. There is grace in the fact that you kept loving, even after being wounded. There is strength in the fact that you stayed true to who you are, even when the world pushed you to change. You didn't let pain make you bitter. You let it make you better. And that's why heaven is moving in your favor. Not everyone could have made it through what you did. Some would have given up. Some would have turned cold. But you, dear chosen one, stayed soft. You held on to your humanity. You kept choosing love. You kept forgiving, not because it was easy, but because God lives inside you. That love is your greatest weapon. And that love is what is unlocking miracles over your life now. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. There's a shift happening in the spirit. Things are aligning. The heavens are opening. And while it may not be loud or dramatic, your soul can feel it. You've stepped into a divine moment, a turning point. What used to resist you will now welcome you. What used to be hard will now become smooth. What was once closed is now opening before you, not because you pushed your way in, but because you trusted God to lead the way. There is healing flowing into places that used to feel numb. You're no longer surviving. You're beginning to live again. You're learning how to breathe without fear, how to love without fear, how to trust without fear. You've outgrown the prison of the past. The door was opened by God, and you had the courage to walk through it. Don't worry if others don't understand what God is doing in your life. This isn't their vision. This isn't their process. It wasn't their pain, and it won't be their glory. What is unfolding is deeply personal. It's between you and God. Let that intimacy remain sacred. Let that connection remain pure. Let God continue to be the one who leads, provides, and restores. The blessings coming your way won't just be for survival, they'll be for joy, for rest, for restoration. You've given so much. You've prayed for others while you were hurting. You've encouraged others while you were empty. And now it's time to receive. Not because you demanded it, but because God delights in rewarding faithfulness. He delights in seeing his child smile again. Your presence in this world matters. Your voice matters. Your heart matters. You may feel overlooked sometimes, but heaven never missed a single detail of your story. God noticed every moment you chose to stay faithful. Every moment you lifted your eyes to him instead of giving in to the weight of this world. You may have done it quietly, but heaven echoed it loudly. There's something special about the way you've loved through brokenness. Something beautiful about how you kept hope alive, even in the dark. That's not just strength, that's purpose. That's calling. That's destiny. And it is being fulfilled right now in ways you can't even fully see yet. Soon, the evidence will be all around you. The blessings won't just whisper, they'll sing. The favor won't just find you, it'll flood you. And people will wonder how you made it through. But you'll know. You'll remember those quiet prayers, those hidden tears, those sacred moments when God reminded you, "You are mine." Let go of guilt for the times you felt weak. Let go of shame for the times you didn't feel strong. You are not perfect, but you are chosen. And your willingness to return to God every time, to try again, to forgive again, to rise again, that is what made you the strongest one. The Spirit of God is hovering over you right now, breathing fresh peace into your mind, speaking calm into your heart. You may have walked through fire, but you're not burned. You may have faced storms, but you're still standing. And now, you'll walk into rooms you once only dreamed about, not by force, not by manipulation, but by divine appointment. Let your soul receive that. Let yourself breathe. You are not the same person you were when this began. You are stronger, wiser, softer in the right places, bolder in the right places. You are the result of God's mercy, not just once, but over and over again, and you carry his image more clearly now than ever before. The enemy tried to break you because he knew what was coming, but he failed. He underestimated the power of your surrender. He didn't know that the more you leaned on God, the more unstoppable you'd become. And now, heaven is announcing your next chapter, the one where joy returns, the one where peace stays, the one where you flourish. There is something sacred happening in your life right now. Even if it doesn't look like it on the outside, even if your surroundings feel ordinary, heaven is moving pieces into place for you. God has been working behind the scenes, removing what would have harmed you, positioning what will bless you, and weaving together every thread of your journey into something beautiful and divine. Type 555 if you're ready for the next season. A revealed 7-second brainwave technique supported by neuroscience and once hidden in classified files is helping thousands switch on their brain's wealth setting. People call it the money magnet sound because of how quickly it seems to draw abundance. Click the link in the description and comments below to awaken the prosperity already within you. Your life carries weight in the spirit. You don't just walk through moments, you shift atmospheres. When you enter a room, the presence you carry comes with you. It's not loud. It's not always noticed right away, but it's felt. Because God's favor rests on you, and that favor cannot be denied. Even those who tried to overlook you will now have to witness your rising. This is not a coincidence. It's not luck. What's happening is prophecy unfolding. You've been prepared for this moment in the quiet. You've been refined in trials. You've learned how to pray with power, how to stand when it hurt, how to love through pain. That kind of strength is rare. That kind of heart is chosen. And you didn't choose yourself, God chose you. There were moments when you thought you wouldn't make it. Times when the pain felt too deep and the silence felt too long. But something inside you refused to let go. That something was the Spirit of God. He kept whispering, "Hold on." And you did. And now, that same Spirit is raising you up. You are walking into fulfillment, into purpose, into joy that cannot be shaken. Type 1919 to receive miracles. Don't let fear creep in now. Don't let doubt trick you into shrinking. This is your time to stand tall. You've waited, you've endured, and now you are ready. The doors opening are not just opportunities, they're assignments. God is sending you into places where your light will heal others, where your story will inspire, where your presence will bring peace. The reason your battle felt so intense is because your impact will be massive. The enemy saw your potential before you did. That's why the attacks were so personal. That's why it felt like everything was trying to pull you down. But it didn't work. Because grace carried you, mercy covered you, and love held you through it all. There's a divine softness in you that comes from surviving without losing your heart. That is not weakness. That is heaven's fingerprint. And it will open doors that strategy never could. People will be drawn to you not because you're trying to be seen, but because God is shining through you. That's what being chosen means. It's not about title. It's about presence. It's about purity. It's about faithfulness when no one else is watching. Every time you forgave, you became freer. Every time you chose hope over despair, you became stronger. Every time you showed up in faith, even when you felt tired, you made heaven smile. These moments were not wasted. They built a foundation in you that cannot be shaken now. That's why God can trust you with what's coming next. There are people who need what you carry. They've been praying for someone like you, and you don't have to perform to meet that need. Just be who God made you to be. Speak when He leads. Love like He loves. Give without fear. And rest knowing that heaven is backing you up every step of the way. You don't need to have it all figured out. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for your heart, and you've already given it. That's why He's lifting you now. Not because you're better than anyone else, but because you said yes when others said no. You surrendered, you trusted, and heaven responds to surrender. You will look back on this season with awe, not because it was easy, but because it was holy. You will remember how God met you in your lowest places, how He whispered when you were breaking, how He wrapped His arms around your weary soul. And you will say, God was faithful, because He always has been, and He always will be. Let yourself feel joy again. Let yourself expect goodness again. You are not being set up for disappointment. You are being set apart for deliverance. This is the moment your heart has longed for, the one where peace settles deep inside you, where you stop questioning your worth, where you stop apologizing for your anointing, where you finally walk in the fullness of who God created you to be. There's no going back now. No shrinking, no second guessing. You've crossed the threshold. You've stepped into the flow of divine alignment. Things will begin to happen quickly. Answers will come suddenly. Breakthroughs will come effortlessly. Because you're not forcing this, you're flowing in it. And that's what makes it so powerful. Stay humble, stay surrendered, let love lead every move. And don't be surprised when favor starts to follow you. When people want to bless you without reason, when doors open without you knocking, that's what happens when heaven puts a stamp on your name. That's what happens when you're walking in the timing of God. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. You're not here for approval, you're here for assignment. You're here to shift things, to heal, to build, to carry glory into spaces that need it most. You are heaven's answer to someone's prayer, and that's not something to take lightly. Keep your eyes on Jesus. He is your anchor, your source, your strength. When things feel uncertain, He will steady you. When the pressure rises, He will shelter you. And when the blessings overflow, He will remind you of why you're here: to love, to serve, to reflect Him. This is your new beginning. The old has passed. The pain no longer defines you. The shame no longer binds you. You are redeemed, restored, reborn into purpose, and nothing can stop what God has already set in motion. There are moments in life when heaven draws especially close. Not because you've done everything perfectly, but because you've stayed faithful through imperfection. This is one of those moments. God is surrounding you right now with a love that restores what was lost, a peace that calms every storm, and a grace that breaks through every wall you've carried for too long. Type 333 if you feel the presence of God. A hidden brainwave once kept in classified files has been said to spark powerful prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch within your mind that pulls in abundance like a magnet. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. This isn't just another chapter in your life. It's the chapter where the promises that felt far away finally start showing up. The prayers you whispered in exhaustion, the ones you nearly forgot you prayed, are returning now, wrapped in God's perfect timing, and you, dear chosen one, are ready to receive. You're not too late. You're not behind. You're right where you're supposed to be. The delay wasn't denial. It was preparation. It was God making sure that when you stepped into the blessing, you'd be able to hold it, sustain it, and not be overwhelmed by it. He was teaching you how to recognize His voice, how to trust Him more than outcomes, how to depend on Him when everything else felt unsure. And you learned, you listened, you grew, and now you're ready. This is the season where you'll feel heaven's response. It won't just be internal anymore. You'll start to see the evidence in your everyday life. People who once ignored your light will begin to notice the glow. Places that once rejected you will suddenly make room for you. And not because you forced anything, but because the anointing on your life can no longer be hidden. Type 777 if you trust Jesus. The battles you fought have shaped you, not destroyed you. They've built endurance, not exhaustion. You've been walking through fire, but you're stepping out with gold in your spirit. What you went through didn't break you, it revealed you. It showed you who you are in God. It exposed the strength that was buried under pain. And now, that strength is becoming your testimony. You are the strongest chosen one, not because you always felt strong, but because you chose to stand anyway. When people didn't support you, you still pressed forward. When fear tried to paralyze you, you reached for faith. And when darkness crept in, you cried out to the light, and the light never left you. That kind of resilience is rare. That kind of faith is powerful. There are people who are watching your journey, quietly learning how to trust God because of how you live. Your endurance is someone else's encouragement. Your healing is someone else's hope. You're not just being lifted for your own sake. You're being lifted so others can see what God can do with a life fully surrendered. Don't let comparison distract you. Your path was never meant to look like anyone else's. Your story has its own rhythm, its own beauty, its own miracles written into every step. God didn't make a mistake when He chose you. He knew exactly what you'd face, and He still said, "That one. I want that one." And He's been with you every moment since. You don't have to strive to prove your worth. You are already deeply loved. Before you accomplished anything, you were already enough. Before you ever lifted your hands in worship, you were already seen. God didn't fall in love with a future version of you. He chose you as you are. And from that love, everything else flows. Your future is not something you have to fear. It's something you can step into with peace. God has already gone ahead of you. He's already cleared the path. The same hands that held you through the valley are now guiding you into the blessing. The same voice that comforted you in the dark is now calling you into the light. You may not have seen the full picture yet, but pieces are coming together. Bit by bit, you'll realize how everything worked in your favor. Even the closed doors, even the painful endings, even the people who walked away. It all created space for what's better, for what's true, for what's divinely aligned with your purpose. There's no need to rush this. Let it unfold. Let grace carry you. Let the love of God lead every decision. He's not just the God of your breakthrough. He's the God who walks with you through every step toward it. He's gentle. He's kind. And He's committed to finishing what He started in you. Every day you wake up, you're living proof that God still has more for you. That breath in your lungs is not random, it's intentional. It means your purpose is still unfolding, your impact is still growing, your presence is still needed. And every little act of obedience, every quiet moment of worship, every time you choose to love when it's hard, it all matters deeply. You're not just walking in favor, you're walking in legacy. What you're doing now is planting seeds that will bloom for generations. Your faith is setting a new standard. Your healing is breaking cycles. Your voice is shaping atmospheres. And you didn't even realize how much power you carried because you've been too focused on staying humble. That humility is exactly what makes you trustworthy for what's next. Let the blessings come. Let the joy return. Let the peace stay. You don't have to live in survival mode anymore. You've graduated from the season of striving to the season of resting in God's promises. You've been through the fire, and you came out shining. Not perfect, but purified. Not without scars, but stronger because of them. Type 888 if you receive this shift. There were seasons where it felt like you were losing everything. But in reality, God was stripping away what was never meant to stay. It hurt. It confused you. At times, it felt unfair. But now, you see more clearly. The space that felt empty is now ready for overflow. The room that felt quiet is now filled with heaven's whisper. You were not being abandoned. You were being rebuilt. Chosen one, you are not rising because you demanded a platform. You're rising because you became the kind of person who could carry weight with grace, who could stand in pressure and still reflect love, who could be trusted with influence because you remained rooted in truth. That kind of character is forged in fire, and you've walked through it. There are many who want the blessing, but few who want the refining. But you, even when it was hard, chose surrender. You chose to let God shape you. You let Him close doors you begged Him to open. You let Him heal wounds by facing pain you wanted to avoid. That's why the anointing on your life is pure. Because it was birthed in obedience, not ambition. Type 666 if you trust God's process. A rare 7-second morning routine previously hidden in classified files is resurfacing, and people are already sharing stories of rapid financial progress. It requires almost no time, yet it activates a dormant wealth switch in the brain that most never access. Click the link in the description and comments now to access it before it disappears. You've reached a place in your journey where you no longer need constant reassurance. There's a calm within you now, a steady knowing that no matter what happens, God is with you. You've learned that His silence doesn't mean absence, that His delays are full of divine timing, that His ways, though mysterious, are always good. And that wisdom cannot be taught, it must be lived. And you've lived it. Don't be surprised if old things no longer fit. Old habits, old relationships, old patterns, they're falling away, not because you're cold, but because you're being called higher. Your spirit is outgrowing what used to satisfy. That's what happens when you've been in the presence of God. You start to crave what aligns with His voice, what carries peace, what reflects His love. And yes, it may feel lonely at times. Growth often does. But remember, you're not alone. You're simply ahead. You've been given a glimpse of what's coming, and that glimpse has changed you. It's made it impossible to go back to who you used to be, and that's a gift, because the you that's emerging now is exactly who God had in mind all along. There is a reward for your surrender. It won't always come in the form of applause or recognition. Sometimes the reward is the healing of your heart, the peace in your thoughts, the ability to rest without guilt, the strength to forgive without resentment. These are the treasures of the kingdom, and you carry them now, quietly. What God is doing in you is not just for this moment, it's for a legacy. The way you've chosen to follow Him, even when it was costly, is breaking generational patterns. You are becoming the first in your line to do things differently, to believe differently, to love differently. And because of your faith, your children and your children's children will walk in blessings you never saw growing up. That's the impact of obedience. It reaches further than you'll ever fully see. Your prayers echo in heaven, and they ripple through time. Your faith is building bridges for people who haven't even been born yet. Your yes to God is changing the trajectory of generations. And you didn't even need a stage. You just needed a surrendered heart. There's no pressure to be perfect. God is not asking you to perform. He's asking you to remain, to keep your heart open, to stay soft even when life tries to harden you, to stay close even when the journey feels long. He's asking you to trust that everything He promised is still coming, and it is. Because God never forgets what He speaks. The world moves fast, but the Spirit moves deep. And while others may run ahead in their own strength, you will rise in grace,